Assalamualaikum and hi, I am Siti Athirah Jaya and I will present to you in this video assignment our intercultural experience in narrative. First of all, I don't have any experience and never met people from this country. In this case, all the things that I will share were the one that I searched and watched from the internet and the documentary video. I choose Switzerland as a country that I want to talk about because Switzerland is a country with an enormous wealth of cultural activity and living tradition. When I touch about Switzerland, heard about Switzerland, I will remember of Heidi, which is a famous childhood storybook that was written by Johanna Spivey and it also has been created into a film. Other than that, most of the thing I can think about Switzerland is yodel, classic music, mountains, traditional dress, chocolates, and cheese, just to name a few. The Swiss have always maintained and nurtured their own local custom. The heart of culture involves language, religion, values, traditions, and customs. For language, every country has their own mouth tongue, such as Malaysia, we have Malay language. In Switzerland, do you think they have like Swiss language? This country actually has 4 official languages, not 1 or 2, but 4. The 4 official languages are German, French, Italian, and Romansh. At the beginning of the 21st century, more than 3/5 of the total population spoke German. They actually use Swiss German dialects when chatting and High German for writing. About 1/5 French, 1/12 Italian, and less than 1% Romansh. Nearly 1/10 of the population spoke a non-official language, with people of Croatian, Portuguese, Serbian, and Spanish descent most prevalent in this category. Next, religion. Switzerland also exhibits considerable religious diversity. However, the distribution of religions does not coincide with that of languages, as the population shifts brought on by industrialization result in greater mixture of religions. Roman Catholics slightly outnumber Protestants, and there is a small but significant Muslim population, mainly of Turkish or Balkan origin, and a tiny Jewish community. Although religion has been pivotal in shaping the country, church attendance and religiosity have declined substantially. About 2/5 of Roman Catholics and 1/2 of Protestants attend church regularly. Can't be denied that there are also Swiss citizens profess no religious affiliation. Now let's talk about values. This is an area you should try to get right, or things get uncomfortable. The Swiss, while not the most outgoing individuals in the planet, still like their formal greetings. If you are meeting someone for the first time, stretch out your hand and say "Grüezi," that means hello. If you meet a friend, then you kiss them 3 times, offering first your right cheek, then left, then right again. The latter exchange is for woman greeting woman and man greeting woman. The boys stick with a handshake or maybe a man hug. Remember to not actually plant a big smacker on someone's cheeks. Think air kiss instead. When you go into a store, say "Grüezi" to the salespeople, and when you leave, say "Adieu." That means goodbye. People may also greet strangers with a "Grüezi" when passing in the street. Bitte, that means please, and merci or danke, that means thank you, are also appreciated here. For the personal space, this may be the hardest thing for North Americans and Brits to accept. The orderly Swiss do not live in lining up. Whether it's the cheese counter at the supermarket, the bus stop, or the ski lift, it's every man for himself. Do not expect that the Swiss will honor or even acknowledge a line up. Instead, be prepared to speak up and tell others that it is your time to buy bread. And don't be shy about using a little elbow to get ahead when there are hordes of people. The Swiss also are not fused about bumping into each other. Maybe it's because there are so many people packed into a small country. If you find yourself bump, don't make a dirty face, but instead say "so great." That means that's okay to the bumper and move on. If you do the bumping, say sorry or excuse me. That means excuse me. The Swiss live up to their reputation when it comes to the area of punctuality. Here, being late is not a way of life. It's just rude. Going to a business meeting, show up early so you look organized, competent, and respectful. People are also expected to show up on time for social outings, whether it's dinner at someone's house, drinks at a bar, or a party. The Swiss are not asking a lot. If the trains and buses can run on time, why can't you? You don't get this squeaky clean and organized without rules. And the Swiss have many to ensure life keeps running smoothly. For example, you cannot just throw your trash into any old bag. Instead, you must pay for special garbage bags. There are also strict rules for recycling. Paper must be bound with a string and put out in a special collection spot on the anointed day. Glass and aluminum are taken to a recycling depot. Though it is forbidden to do so during the evenings and on weekends, plastic bottles are returned to the store along with coffee capsules. The last but not least is tradition and customs. Switzerland has many customs that are tied to the calendar. Most are of pagan origin or have a religious connection. The festivals celebrated in Switzerland differ considerably depending on the season and the region. Some are based on ancient tradition while others have emerged only recently. Many of them reflect the course of the agricultural year, such as the ringing in of the vineyard workers in the spring, the alpine ascent and descent during the summer months, and the wine festival. They also has the chastel cheese sharing and the Alperchilby carnivals in autumn. The expulsion of winter and of evil spirits and demons forms part of the tradition, a tradition that is linked to the numerous carnival and year-end ceremonies. Other celebrations recall history events such as important victories in historical battles. Typical Swiss folk culture such as yodeling and playing the alphorn is still practiced in some rural areas. Early autumn's annual alphabzouk, in which cattle are driven from alpine pastures to lower elevation, is the occasion for rural fairs and auctions that emphasize rural tradition, and many cities or larger towns host farmers markets that join urban and rural areas. Stand wrestling, or known as switchwingen, in which combatants wear wrestling breeches and can be seen in many regional festivals, and in some mountain villages, such as in Valais, traditional rural costumes are sometimes worn. Actually, there were more culture to share about this beloved country. It's just a quick information of it that I can get from the internet. But again, by exploring and comparing cultural knowledge, beliefs, and practice, we can develop respect for cultural diversity as well as reduce the barriers to intercultural understanding. That's all I want to share in this video. Thank you so much for tuning and watching. Assalamualaikum and goodbye.